I never imagined I'd be sharing this tale, nor did I ever picture myself as this kind of woman. But here's the raw truth. Sometimes you don't grasp what's missing in your life until someone else hands it to you, until someone else stirs feelings you'd convinced yourself were trivial. That's how I found myself here, heart racing, body quivering, with a man who wasn't my husband pressing against me. "It's overwhelming," I murmured, voice shaky. "Please, take it slow." He was so much more than my husband in ways that left me uncertain if I could handle it. Yet, the instant I felt him, I was desperate to try. The marriage that brought me to this point, my husband, Liam, is a genuinely good guy, the kind women fantasize about tying the knot with, dependable, thoughtful, always putting me first. For the early years, that was plenty. We crafted a home together, built a life side by side. But somewhere along the line, things shifted. Our love morphed into a routine. The spark dimmed. Our closeness became mechanical, same moves, same tempo, same silent agreement that neither of us was truly fulfilled, yet we were too settled to shake things up. I never strayed. The thought of betrayal didn't even cross my mind until he entered the picture, the man I should have steered clear of. His name was Marcus, a colleague of Liam's. Tall, self-assured, the type who moved with a quiet certainty of his own power. I noticed him right away, the way his piercing eyes lingered on me a fraction too long, the way his voice softened when he said my name, the way he stood just a touch too near, his hand grazing my arm too frequently, a sly grin when I flushed. I told myself it was innocent, but deep down, I craved the attention. Over time, the chemistry between us grew undeniable, the fleeting looks, the prolonged touches, the way his fingers brushed my skin when Liam wasn't around. It was wrong. I knew it was wrong, but I didn't pull away. And then one night, I let it happen. That night, Liam was out of town for work, 3 days, 3 nights. On the first evening, Marcus texted, "Grab a drink?" I knew exactly what it implied. I knew where it would lead if I agreed, but I didn't refuse. An hour later, he was at my doorstep. The moment he stepped inside, I sensed there was no going back. The air crackled with something perilous, something electric. I barely had time to second-guess before I shut the door, and Marcus had me pinned against it, his lips claiming mine with urgency. And I let him. Heaven help me, I let him. He kissed me like he'd been yearning for me, like he'd been biding his time for this exact moment. His hands were firm, his body searing against mine. By the time we stumbled to the bedroom, I was already trembling, already aching for him. But when he pressed himself against me, when I felt the full weight of him, I gasped. He was so much more than my husband, bolder, more intense. My breath hitched, a tangle of thrill and nerves churning in my gut. "Marcus, it's too much," I whispered, voice faltering. "Please, go slow." He smirked, his lips grazing my ear. "Relax, sweetheart," he said. "I'll take my time." And, oh, did he ever. Afterward, I should have been drowning in guilt. I should have despised myself. But lying there, my skin still buzzing, my breathing uneven, I felt something else entirely, relief, fulfillment, like I'd finally been seen, desired in the way I'd secretly longed for. Marcus traced lazy patterns along my thigh, that knowing grin still on his face. "You good?" he asked. I let out a shaky laugh. "I don't think my legs work." He chuckled. "I'll take that as a win." The worst part? I knew this wouldn't be a one-time thing. Having tasted what it meant to be truly sated, I wasn't sure I could return to the way things were. Years later, the guilt crept in. For a long time, I'd convinced myself that night with Marcus was just a fleeting lapse, a mistake that didn't hold weight. Liam never suspected a thing. Our marriage held steady, and life rolled on. But in the quiet of night, with Liam asleep beside me, my mind would wander back to how it felt to be touched like that, to be overwhelmed like that, to be claimed in a way my husband couldn't match. That guilt began to gnaw at me. No matter how much I adored Liam, no matter how loyal I tried to be after that night, I missed it. And I wanted it again, but this time, with my husband. The marriage that hid my secret. After Marcus, I vowed never to cheat again. I buried the memory deep, sealed it away, and told myself I could live without that kind of ecstasy. Liam and I carried on as usual: dinners, getaways, family gatherings. From the outside, everything seemed flawless, and for a while, I convinced myself it was. But the restlessness crept in, the frustration, the yearning, the comparisons. Every time Liam touched me, Marcus flickered in my mind. Every time Liam made love to me, I felt the gap, the difference in intensity. I loathed myself for it. Liam was a wonderful man. He cherished me. He didn't deserve a wife who secretly wished for more. Instead of resenting him for something beyond his control, I decided to address it. I decided to chase what I truly craved. The conversation that changed it all, I'd rehearsed it 1,000 times in my head. How do you ask your husband to change himself without crushing his confidence? How do you broach it without making him feel inadequate? One evening, after a couple of glasses of wine, I found the courage. Liam was sprawled on the couch, half watching the TV, when I nestled beside him, my fingers trailing over his chest. "Honey," I murmured. He glanced over, pressing a kiss to my forehead. "Yeah?" I hesitated, my pulse racing. I nearly chickened out, but the thought of never feeling that intensity again pushed me forward. So I took a deep breath and said it. "I think we could spice things up in the bedroom, maybe explore some enhancements." Liam's brow furrowed, his expression tightening. "What's that supposed to mean? You're not satisfied?" I bit my lip. "I am, but don't you ever wonder what it'd be like to take things up a notch?" The realization hit him. His jaw clenched. "Are you saying you want me to get some kind of procedure?" I swallowed hard. "Not exactly a surgery, but there are options, something to enhance things a bit." Silence, a heavy, gut-wrenching silence. I reached for his hand. "Liam, I love you. This isn't about being unhappy. I just think," he pulled away. "Am I not enough for you?" My heart ached. I wanted to tell him he was everything, that my love for him was unshakable, but physically, I'd experienced more, and I longed to feel it again. The shift I never saw coming. For weeks, Liam barely spoke to me. I regretted opening my mouth. I thought I'd shattered us beyond repair. But then one night, he came home late. I was already in bed, scrolling on my phone, when he sat beside me. "I've been looking into it," he said softly. I blinked. "Looking into what?" He met my gaze, his blue eyes steady. "Enhancement options." My breath caught. "Liam, you don't have to, I want to," he cut in. "If it'll make you happier, I'm willing to try." My throat tightened with emotion. I didn't deserve this man, his love, his readiness to change for me. But I didn't stop him because, deep down, I wanted this. A fresh start. The process spanned months, endless consultations, talks about possibilities. Liam had his doubts, naturally, but I was there every step, supporting him, urging him on. When the day finally arrived, I was a bundle of nerves, not just about the outcome but what it meant for us. Would it feel the same? Would he grow to resent me? Would I regret pushing him? But when we finally tried it for the first time, my God. Liam was transformed, more commanding, and the way he moved, it was like he had a point to prove. The first time he eased into me, I gasped, my nails sinking into his shoulders. "Baby," I panted, "go slow." His lips brushed my ear. "You wanted this," he whispered, "so you're gonna feel it all." And I did, every moment, every deep, earth-shattering thrust. When it was over, I was trembling, breathless, utterly spent. Liam grinned down at me, his fingers drawing slow circles on my skin. "Well?" he asked, a smug edge to his voice. I couldn't even speak. I just pulled him close and kissed him fiercely because, for the first time in years, Marcus didn't cross my mind. I wasn't comparing. I was lost in my husband's touch. And for the first time since that night, I knew, deep in my core, that I'd never need anyone else again. If you loved this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more captivating content.